Why do estate agents hate their competition? Today, I'm joined by Ev Foster, who is boss lady, operating principal of Keller Williams in Scotland. I jokingly say that estate agents, that the reason why people put up with Rightmove is that they hate their competitors even more. In other countries, USA, Australia, whilst there's good, healthy competition, collaboration is everywhere. Why aren't we seeing that in the UK? Talk to me.
The only thing I can say to that is I wish we were. I think it would make the client experience much better. You know, I know in England you have a lot of chain reaction in terms of why don't agents talk to each other throughout the chain. We're getting that more and more in Scotland. And if we could talk to agents during that process instead of feeling, you know, like threatened, I'm at a loss as to why people don't collaborate more. I really am.
Would you like my opinion on this?
I would love your opinion, yeah.
The type of person who's attracted to be an estate agent in the UK tends to be on the disc profile, what we call an I, which means that they are above the line in terms of being outward as opposed to reserved, and they are a people person as opposed to a process person. So they're on the right-hand side. Again, disc as in round thing, disc profiling, I types are what tend to be most valuable estate agents. And that type of personality, because what you tend to find is in America and Australia, most estate agents are what we call a D stroke I. So they're above the line on the outward or reserved, but they are both decisive and influencer, the DI bit. Sorry to turn this into a lesson, but I know you love your training.
Yep.
So therefore, the I type tends to, and I'm going to describe most valuers here, they love the sound of their own voice. They are not very good at listening. They wait for people to talk and then just say what they've got to say. Not listening. They just wait for people to stop talking. They want to be the center of attention. They love a crowd and they love the esteem of their colleagues. And they want everyone to love them. And the downside to that is that when you want everyone to love you, your biggest fear is rejection. And that is why the vast majority of estate agents, when they lose a valuation, it really is like a dagger going through the heart. And they will do everything in their power not to feel that rejection, and therefore will pull their pants down on the fees. And when they do lose it to another agent, they are exposing themselves to that big fear, which is rejection. Whilst if you go to abroad to Australia or America, that fear of rejection is not so great. And therefore the ability to drop their pants down on the fees and say, well, I lost it. Oh, well, I could do it better. You see, this is where I think a lot of estate agents go wrong, is that when they lose it, they take it personally on themselves, and it's not a reflection of themselves. It is actually, yeah, they could have done it better. What do I need to do to get better? Have you noticed agents don't want to do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about our agents, but you know, we would say to people, what could you have done differently?
Yeah.
You know, what you didn't get your value proposition across well enough.
Yeah.
And with that client, you know, what would you have done? I talk about MLD. What would you have done more? What would you have done less? What would you have done differently? And you know, that's part of the kind of training that we do.
But agents don't do that. It's effing and blinding and throwing things out of prams.
Yeah. Well, again, you know, I lost it on fee because they were so much cheaper. No, you didn't show your value. It's not about the fee being cheaper. It's about the value being greater. So, but I mean, I think the collaboration thing for me is when agents are involved in, transactions and kind of seeing it through. You know, why are we not kind of,
because they hate their competitors, which is an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could get over that hump and be more collaborative.
But if they're all then, if you're saying they're high eyes, which I think they are, then they want people to love them. So why don't they put that out to then be loved back?
Because
it's then a kind of contrast.
Because the fear of loss is greater than the fear of gain. Let me prove it to you.
Okay.
Scenario one. You go to a drawer and there's £100 that you didn't know was there. I think that's obviously a positive emotion. If you put that on an oscilloscope, like a heartbeat monitor. Think about how big the spike would be. Scenario 2, you go to a drawer where you think there's £100. It's a completely separate, different £100, and it's not there. It's obviously a negative emotion. Which one would have the bigger spike?
The negative.
And it comes down to caveman times. That a human being can go without food, I think, for about 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, so therefore, in caveman times, if you went a day without food, it wasn't the end of the world. But the problem with the human brain is that instead of saying this is day 1 of 30, it goes ahead to day 30 straight away, and now we're on a countdown. It's like people who have on a phone, it gets down to 90% on their phone and they start having palpitations. It's the same. They don't see the fact they've only lost a little. It's the fact is that they're eating into that. And you see, but if you go and kill two wildebeest in a day, you're not going to live any longer. But by missing a day, you're 1 day nearer death. And the human brain just goes beyond, like within nanoseconds, shit. And it doesn't want to feel that way. It hates change. It hates uncertainty. Your emotional side, your amygdala or your subconscious, that's why people feel that way. And if you can train it not to fear, and take on board that you've lost the property or you haven't eaten the wildebeest that day, you'll win so big as an agent, as a human being.
Without a doubt. And I think, I see it in our market centre, the agents collaborating with each other really, really well. And who benefits from that? Who benefits from that in the transaction? The clients.
And the agents.
And the agents.
It just needs a different mindset. But that's where what I love about the Keller Williams model, especially the ones that work, is that you train people in this. If you're on your own, let's be honest, I find it fascinating, pardon me, that there's about 11,000 estate agency firms. So let's get rid of the top 100 because we'll assume they've got in-house trainers. I can't even get 10, the number of trainers I know to serve 10,000 estate agents. That's the wonderful thing about your Keller model. Other models are available. That you train and guide, more importantly, coach. And that's what you said in a previous video. Do you see yourself as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've brought in the Evolution Experience, which is a 4-day course in Scotland for people even thinking of becoming estate agents before they join Keller, before they join any other models. Come and see whether it's for you. And part of that is how, the thinking, how we help people to think maybe differently, collaboratively. You can't survive on your own. You can't make it, just one person. We've got 2 agents who left us last year who are coming back because they missed the collaboration with other. They missed the training. They missed the collaboration. Now, sometimes people leave and, with the door is firmly shut for one reason or another, but some people leave and you think, yeah, go and do it on your own, and then we'll be here when you want to come back. Collaboration is where it should start and where it should finish.
Thank you for your time today, Ev.
Thank you.